Alright, what's going on, guys? I am here with part one of my ToC PTQ experience. Um, so we're bowling on the Harry Smith pattern here, and it is absolute control oil, I believe. So pretty slick, and it's pretty well, well, that was a bad shot. um, it's pretty slick out there, but you can still kind of play like a bunch of different angles from right, and kind of get there. It, it's just I don't know. I don't know. It might play differently if it's different oil. I don't know. Um, but what I do know is what's out here. If you get it right, like it's never ever trying to see it just like that shot. And if you get it in like that, then it wants to hook. So, I mean, again, it's relatively flat, but not too bad. I mean, it's playable from outside, and obviously I'm kind of hitting it, but I'm also not really because I threw really bad in the third frame, on both the strike and spare shot. And honestly, that was all nerves. I literally just I couldn't keep myself under control. That's kind of a testament to a couple things, but uh, regardless, I couldn't do it in that moment, and that killed me for that frame. And then the spare shot was literally all nerves. Like I literally just couldn't stop being nervous, and I tried different tricks, and it just didn't help me, unfortunately, in that moment. And then the other frames, I kind of threw it bad, and then ultimately made the switch to urethane on the right lane, and that ended up being good. And then just threw a better shot in the left lane with the GB4 hybrid, and then threw it okay, and then it didn't get there, and then again didn't throw it that great in the 10th for that miss for a 180. And when I looked around me, the scores were relatively low. I mean, everybody was shooting only about 2 over 210 or 190. Anywhere between 190 and 210 was like pace, which was crazy. I was like, huh. Every single PTQ's been like really high scoring, but this one just isn't. It was very weird to me. And yeah, so the next game I just decided to stay in urethane because the people in my pair were striking with it. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna commit to it. And it definitely was the right move. Well, okay. But then I went strike spare, and I'm like, okay, maybe urethane wasn't actually the play. But I know it is on the left lane because I know I'm striking with it. And so again, this is one of those games, just like in the World Series, where I'm like, okay, now I feel trapped. I'm like, well, I didn't get two hits in a row now, or I just didn't get two hits, and I know I need hits. Am I supposed to go back to reactive? And so I tried to, and it held and left a four pin, and I'm like, okay, like you've got to be kidding me. Like, let's just get it right one time and see what happens. And I do get it right, and it's a little bit too far, and it just hangs there, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, man. Like, again, if one of those hits fall early on, then I don't get out of urethane, and there's a good chance that I shoot a higher game. But unfortunately, that's not the way life works. And I did leave those pins, and I didn't get those hits, and it's because of a couple things. Number one, it has to be mental, and number two, it has to be consistency. My shot consistency was very low, going into this particular event, as you can clearly kind of tell. I don't know. I can tell within myself that my shot quality wasn't good. Um, but uh, you know, regardless, we gotta move on. And so that's what I attempt to do here in game three. And I start with a three bagger, but a very lucky three bagger, obviously. And then I don't make the move. I thought I did, but well, no, I tried to get it out a little more, and it seemed to look okay, but it just hung there. So I'm like, okay, now I really need to make an adjustment. I just need to move a little bit farther right. And so I did on the left lane here. I did end up doing that, and I do end up making a better shot, and it ring tens. So I'm like, okay, I can't complain about that. I made a good move, and it just didn't carry. That, in that particular context, it is what it is. Now in the right lane, it's been hooking a little bit, clearly. So I'm like, okay, let's just give it a little bit more loft and a little bit more speed. And that ended up not being a good move. That ended up actually kind of faking me out a little bit because I give it a little less loft and a little less speed there to try and give myself a look, and it doesn't hook enough into the 2-4. So, and then yeah, then I just made a better shot on the left lane there. So now I'm like, okay, like like that was kind of irritating because I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me! Like I'm just so close. And then again, I just nerves, just really really nervous there on that shot, and I just couldn't keep myself under control. I mean, that's the bottom line because I got fast with my hand and I just left 7. Fortunately, I made the spare and then made a better shot in the fill for 211. But yeah, again, pace is about 2 teen here. The cut is like 20 over. Like it's like, I mean, it's high, but I mean, a lot of people aren't doing that great. So it's like, if I keep kind of grinding and somehow get to like 680 or 720, like I know I'm going to be in. And I know that's attainable because I've been hitting the pocket. It's just now, can I get, the pins out at the right times? I mean, that realistically, that's kind of what I needed. And we got a pretty good game going on in game 4 here. I really started to lock in on this left lane. I really started to make some quality shots early on in this game. That one got a little away from me, but it carries and we're okay. The last 2 got away from me on that right lane, and yeah, I really started to lock in until the shot. That shot I just tugged, and then again, really really nervous on the spare, and I just couldn't control myself. I just couldn't control myself. That's the bottom line. It's probably a reps thing. It's probably a mental thing. It's probably a combination of things that I need to work on. And again, that hit kind of hurts, or that splashing 10 pin kind of hurts, because it's a momentum stopper when you don't get a hit like that. And yeah, I mean, I finally got one right on this left lane, and I paid the price for it by leaving a 10 pin. It is what it is. I mean, I can't really complain about that one. It almost did there. It almost got there. But yeah. And that one, as we'll see in the next video, because this one's about to be done, that one was kind of interesting and also like a fake out shot in a sense, and we'll see what I mean in the next video. But that kind of thing was a fake out. Regardless, I'm still in it. Plus teen. Again, if I can get like 230, 240 in the next video, then maybe I can get there. But I'll see you guys later.